Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So we are in December. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. And I can't believe that I've been working on these MR2s since 2019. I bought the first one back in 2019 and it's been a good ride. I've had a lot of fun working on these cars. Gotta tell you, I mean, we've been able to put out a video almost every week, and you know, if you had asked me from the get-go, would that be possible? I'd tell you that is absolutely not possible. But hey, the journey has taken us this far. And we're on the finishing stage, well, not on the finishing stages, but on part of the stage to get in this red MR2 looking really good. I got to get the window, the quarter glass back in. So that's what we're going to do today. I got the dashboard in. You guys, if you follow the channel, you saw that we put the evaporator in. So with the evaporator in, then I can feel comfortable putting in the dash. So the dash is in, the cluster and all of this stuff is not fully buttoned up because when we do the 2GR swap, got to take the cluster out to get the tack working, so I didn't put that in 100%. But the dash is a huge part. I was sitting on my floor in the house, so I'm happy to have this out. I'm sure my wife is happy to have it out of the house as well. So that's in, it's looking good. Got some of the door panels on and just kind of getting a lot of stuff cleaned up. The garage is feeling a lot much better without the clutter. But today we're gonna get this rear quarter glass in. The other side is in already, and I figured I'd take you guys along. Now, I gotta tell you, I have a little beef with one of the forums because some guy asked, how do you take the quarter glass out? And I sent him a video that I'd done on the other side where I had removed it because it was leaking and reinstalled it. And this dude was like, oh, you know, I wanted to see how it's taken out. Now, in my mind, if you can see how something can be reinstalled, you absolutely could figure out how to get it out. And in the case of what we have here, like let's just look on the floor here with the quarter glass, it is so easy to figure this out. There are 3 screws that go in right here, and there are 3 nuts on the back. So it sits in here like this. You basically remove the interior, pull the 3 bolts, pull these 3 screws right here, and this thing pops right out. So anyways, for that dude, hey, I don't mean to hit on anybody, but hey, so when people try to help sometimes, hey, just take it with a grain of salt. If it's not what you're looking for, you can be nicer. So anyways, I had to get that off my chest. But with that said, guys, we're gonna put this glass in. Now, the reason why I'm doing this again, because I've obviously done it on the other side, if you follow the channel, is a lot of these parts, like this inner vent, and then the outer casing, they come with a foam piece, and if you pull yours off, chances are with the car being so old, these things are going to be deteriorated. So I bought some extra foam. As you can see with this one, I re-foamed it. So probably not the factory, well, it's definitely not the factory foam, but it's going to work just as good. And it really just, from what I see, it creates a cushion between the body and the glass, and also creates some type of sealing, and I'm sure it helps with the vibration. So I resealed this one. For this piece, I took it off, I painted it, it goes right over here, and there's an outer layer of foam that you put right here. So I got some foam online, and I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna foam this up, gonna stick this in, and then for the quarter glass, and I have the manual here, a lot of guys use like some type of silicone. What is really recommended per the manual is this butyl tape, which is, or it's kind of like a rubber thing here. So butyl tape, and the good thing, why I want to use this, 1, it's recommended by the manual, and 2, it goes along the perimeter of the glass. And what happens is, it's obviously very good at sealing water out. And when you're going to remove this thing, you don't have to cut anything out. It literally just comes right off. So this is what I recommend instead of silicone or whatever these guys are using, that I've seen, you know, some guys do it online. So this is my way of doing it, and it happens to be the way that the BGB says you should do it as well. So we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put some foam on here. We're gonna throw this in, and let me bring it over to the car for a second. All right, so bringing you guys over to the car, there's a high probability that if you took yours out, these inserts are gonna be like cracked and deteriorated, and they'll have like a break in the back here. So when you screw this in and you actually run water on the car, or if it rains, the water actually gets in and it seeps through this little hole, and you'll get a little drip in the back here. So I got these online, it's some new ones, and we're gonna put these in. I'm gonna put some of that butyl sealant around here as well, just to kind of make sure it's 100%. And then when you choose your screws, make sure you get one that it stops inside and it doesn't go beyond here. So you don't punch a hole through this and kind of create a problem again. But I'm replacing these as well, and I would recommend you guys do that. So let's get these squared off and let's just do this. This should be a very quick video and it should go very smooth. All right, so I just foamed this one. I'm telling you, man, this is so satisfying doing this foam. It just conforms to the corners. And then I left a slit right at the bottom, so in case anything needs to drain, it drains down here. That's how I saw it from the factory, so I figured I'd kind of mimic it. Again, it's not a perfect cut, but you guys get the basic idea. It's good to go. So we're gonna put this in the little triangle in the back, so it gets hooked on with these little clips. So you basically just shove it in and then it gets locked in place in the plastic with these little tabs right here. So let's do that. All right, the trick to this is you gotta get it under here. So in this section first, and then, and I learned this the hard way, put in this section first and then you just kind of push in here and just snaps in place just like that. When I was doing it before, I put it in this section first and it just wasn't working out, but it worked out great as you just saw. And of course, all of this is painted. I just love when things are painted and they look nice and clean. I mean, this car was kind of janky and now it's looking so much better. So let's head on to the glass. We're gonna put in our little tape and get this thing squared off. All right, so just looking at the manual, it really helps to figure out how do we run this tape here along the glass. And they're demonstrating the driver's side, but we're obviously doing the passenger side, but you can pretty much see what you're gonna do. You're gonna start at this little section and you're gonna go down, go all the way around, and you just come this side. You don't go all the way over here. Come around, and then you run a bead past where you started all the way down to the end here, okay? Here's the illustration in the book, and for full detail, as you can see the line at the glass, it stops right here. So if we come over here, we're gonna stop right about here. So let me just roll this bead here, show you guys what it is. And it's pretty simple. It goes in very easy. This is really, really easy to work with. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so I got the tape on, follow the BGB, and it's gonna get pressed on when it's bolted down. So again, just follow the contour. Don't worry about like this kind of got rolled a little bit, but it will get pressed out. And then if you have a T-top car, just kind of loosen your T-top because you're gonna stick this piece in this little groove. And you're gonna get this bolt through here. And then the rest of them just kind of fit into these little slots right here. All right, so here goes. All right, so we're gonna get this in this little slot. And the whole idea is to try not to, get this in right so you don't mess up your tape. And once you get it in there, then you just come around and set it in the slots. Push in. And there you go. So now we're gonna screw these in. As you can see, the gap is nice and clean. And we're gonna press this guy down. So now I'm gonna put the screws in the back. So on the inside, just where you saw me put those in, we're just gonna catch them. And probably see through the glass here, this one right here. And these are just hand tightened. I don't have a torque spec on it. I just hand tightened it. I don't go crazy because they're held on by glue, so you don't want to break the glue. And you just need to get a nice little seal to press down on it. Now for the rear, so I kind of secured it there. I'm gonna put the 3 screws in the back, and then we're gonna come back and tighten those up. I got some short screws. So again, remember I mentioned make sure you get screws that are not gonna pierce those things. So I got some new screws. These fit in very nicely, so let's get these in. So I just tightened up the 3 screws, again, just finger tight. I don't want to put too much pressure on them because, again, it's really just to bring the glue in. And as you can see, the gap is nice here. So I tightened up there first, and now I'm going to go ahead and run down these screws properly because I wanted to make sure this part seals really nice. And just run these in. All right, so the final piece is you gotta put on this piece. So this is the trim piece, and it goes on with a few clips. So as you can see, there's a little section here. So you're gonna snap it in, like push it in here and then tap in. I'm not gonna put it in yet because as you can see, it's dirty and I didn't pre-clean it before this video. But again, there are the tabs. You literally go stick it in here. You can see these little sections, get it under, and you just tap it in and good to go. It looks something like that. All right, so that's it, guys. Very straightforward process, and hey, car's coming together. I'm happy. So let's look at the door closed. You know, I gotta tell you, car manufacturers, it's amazing how they put these things together. And when everything is said and done, it just all comes together very nicely. So there it is. I gotta get some new wheels, new suspension, and we gotta change the engine. So what I'm gonna work on next is the front bumper. I gotta get that installed, but we gotta take the condenser out for the AC, have that replaced with the line that goes on the bottom. And I have a new radiator. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the radiator as well. This one works fine, but it's all rusty in the back of the fan, and kind of just wanna go through the car and hey, if you're gonna give it some love, just go all out, right? So that's it, looking great. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.